Hello, Ravens fans, and welcome to another season preview. I'm Aaron Schneider, the Sports Information Director at Anderson University, and joining us is our head football coach, Jonathan Coddington. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on here today.
All right, now first to kick things off, I kind of want to talk about go into some philosophical discussion, the Raven way. So basically tell people like what that is and what the significance is going to hold to your program.
Yeah, definitely. So, the Raven way, obviously being the Ravens, it's how we want to do things, here as a football program. And, it's our way. And so, while it is the way that we do things in our program, obviously every program gets run different ways. But, we want to always come back to, these things of how we're going to operate, as a football program. And so, it starts off with the very first part is that we're going to love one another. We're going to be a group of people that, that shows love. And, a lot of people think of love as a feeling. We talk about it more as an action, something that we do, and that we want to be able to show love towards the other guys in our program, to people outside of our program as well too. And I think in a lot of ways, it's the mark of our Christian faith as well too, that Jesus told us, go and love one another. That's how you're my disciple, is by doing that. And so stems from that. And there's a lot of things obviously that goes into that, but at the beginning of it, we want that to be the beginning, because the relationships are going to be the most important part here, kind of for us. Secondly, then we talk about having a contagious positive energy. That's, our feelings are contagious whether we like them or not. They go to every part of our body, can even go up to 10 feet outside of us. And so we've got to be contagiously positive, because everybody knows those negative people in their lives that just drain everybody around them, and the complaining, the blaming, the getting defensive. We just can't have that within our program. We've got to have people that are going to be contagiously positive. And before we go out on that football field and do anything in a positive way, we've got to have that belief, that energy inside of us that we can go out and accomplish these things. And so that's gotta happen. We've got to have that within each member, of our football program. We talk about wanting guys that are going to be all in, being all in with how we do things, and regardless of the situation, because it's easy to be all in when things are going well. Not so easy when things are not going your way. Mm-hmm. Whether we see that on the field, you see it, just in life. There's a lot that happens. Can we have guys that are going to be all in no matter what their situation is, what's going around? We need those type of people here, and those are guys that do the right thing, but more than that, they also bring the other people along. They bring their teammates along and get them to do things the way that our program has kind of laid out for them to be able to do. Then we talk about having a championship level standard in everything we do. That like every football team, we want to win championships. No college football team comes to a season not wanting to do that. The goal doesn't make us any different than anybody else. How we go about achieving that is what's going to make us different. And so we're not just going to focus on winning this game or this number of games. We're going to focus on what it takes to be able to get there, and those are our standards every single day, and nothing less than our standard is going to be accepted. And so we've got to make sure that our guys are doing those things, all the time, and doing it at a really, really high level. As a mentality, out on the football field, we want our identity to be, as a football team, to be the toughest, the hardest working, and the most competitive team in the country. And to take all of those aspects, if we can be those three things, honestly, it doesn't matter what we do on offense or defense or special teams. We're going to be a successful football team just based on those things. And so, we're working to become those every day. You're not automatically the toughest or the hardest worker or the most competitive just because you want to be. You got to work to become those things. And so we focus on those in practices, in our meetings, in our workouts, to help guys learn how to become that. And there's a lot of growth, kind of in those, which is a really cool thing. And I think what that takes to be able to have that identity as an individual and a collective team mindset of, we've got to do things better than they've ever been done before. Because there's the hardworking aspect of that it's like, I'm going to keep doing it better than I've ever done it before, but that competitive edge to say, there's no guy in my position group, no guy on this field, no guy down the street at our conference opponent or our week one opponent that's going to do it better than I'm going to do it right now. And having that edge to say that I'm going to do the best, I'm going to do the most, nobody can even compete with that. And if we got a lot of guys with that mindset, we are going to take off. And the last part of how we do things here is we want to add to the legacy. This program has decades worth of teams that have had really successful seasons, championship seasons, playoff seasons, individuals that have played in the NFL and been drafted, guys that have been All-Americans, All-Conference players. There's so much great football history here, and we want to just continue to add on to that with our teams moving forward. Obviously this team continuing to add on to that, and we tell our guys there's really not a whole lot of things that you can do that somebody in this program hasn't already done. And so we're trying to bring a lot of alumni back to either speak to the team, to just be a part of the program, to build that relationship back. And there's decades worth of guys I know that are behind this program, and we're excited to continue to add on the legacy that they've already built for us.
All right, that's awesome. Going into this year, what would you say your team strength is at this point?
Yeah, I think that we've got so far throughout camp, we spent a lot of time obviously installing our base schemes on offense and defense and special teams, but more than that, we've tried to intentionally spend a lot of time bonding as a team as well too, spending time together, and some of that naturally happens just through all the hours we spend together, but doing different team activities, just trying to create that atmosphere of guys that love each other, have each other's back, and that there's no division at all. Because when you have a team that is all in together and working hard together, I'll take that team over a team of just talented individuals that are collected together. And so I'm really excited about that dynamic that our guys have built, and excited to see how that carries into the season. Because when adversity hits, and in football it always hits, just like in life, adversity always hits, you got to be able to turn to and lean on the people next to you. And I think that these guys have built strong relationships within their position group, their side of the ball, and the team to be able to go through that adversity together.
Okay, and then obviously with football, there's a lot of people to discuss in terms of potential contributors.
Yeah.
We do have some all conference returners. We do have some other returners making some impacts, but a lot of freshmen. More than a dozen transfers coming in. Kind of just walk us through our roster by position group on some of the people that you're excited to see what they can do and what kind of impact they can make.
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely there's a good collection of different types of groups. I mean, the guys we have returning from last year's team, though it was a smaller number, like those are some tough dudes that have gone through a lot and have really bought into how we do stuff, and excited about a lot of talented guys there as well too. Some very talented incoming freshmen, some guys that are transferring in that are going to have a big impact. I know defensively, I think we're going to have a really strong defensive front. With Connor Huffman being one of those returning all-conference guys, a couple other guys on the D line that played last year that are going to get some more play time as well this year too. A couple of transfer defensive linemen as well that are going to make a good impact. So really excited, about that. At the linebacker level, we're returning, a couple guys that played on last year's team as freshmen. That are going to be coming back again this year. Excited to see, what they can do. Gavin Renners, Evan Person, those guys, Connor Essick, that all contributed quite a bit defensively. That will do, I think the same this year and help kind of lead that defense. Our secondary is definitely going to be a little bit younger. We've got Trace Daly coming back, as the veteran, of that group, and so I know that he was the Division III Player of the week. The game against Manchester last year with those interceptions, the blocked field goal, the touchdown. Excited to see what he does coming into his last season with us, and and then some guys that are stepping in brand new as Ravens that are going to make some really good impacts, I think, in the secondary there. And so really excited what we got on the defensive side of the ball. On offense, we've actually got 3 quarterbacks that have been competing throughout fall camp, that really excited with all of them that have done a great job, and I believe that any of them can help us win football games. And so that's really exciting to see with Roosevelt Norfleet that was on last year's team, played a decent amount. Cam Todd and Aiden Meek that both came in last spring were with us for spring ball, and those 3 guys have done a great job leading the offense in some other ways. We've got some younger quarterbacks as well too that have been learning the system, that have been stepping up and doing some really good things. At the running back position, I think that we've got several guys that are going to have the opportunity to carry the ball for us and have a great impact. At the receiver position, returning all conference, Julian Hogan, who had a great season last year, looking for another really good one this year as well too. Senior Ted Lamson as well, that's gonna be playing a good role with us here as well too. Dietrich Johnson, who played a little bit at tight end last year, but I think will have a good impact on our team. And then up front with the offensive line, it always everything starts with them, right? And so we've got returning all conference player Jackson Elder, returning starter Sherman Turner as well at center, some other Quinn Dryban at tackle as well too, and then a couple other guys that are rotating and still competing, kind of in the mix there. I definitely really excited about where we are up front. I think we've got some guys that are gonna
sure.
make their presence known on the field, so that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and then so now looking at the season ahead now, we have our season opener here Saturday at 6 against Trine. So first tell us about what your expectations are for our game versus Trine, and then kind of just talk about some of the other contests that you see can be some key points in the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely really important in every college football season to start fast, but we know that we're going to continue to get better throughout the season as well.
Yes.
Too, that week one is not the end. We've got a lot of great weeks of football ahead, and I think that then this day it feels like forever ago that we've just been prepping and planning to get to this week, this first game week, and so really excited to see what our guys go out and do. I know even within the first couple days of practice this week, the energy is been jacked up even higher, and the focus is there, and so we are we're excited to go out and put the plan that we have for our guys in place to be able to compete and put ourselves in a position to be able to win this football game, and just excited to get Raven football back on campus here as well too. Hopefully have a lot of students, staff, people from around town out for the game, looking to pack the stadium and have a great college football atmosphere here again coming into this year. And so I think that whenever there's that first game, there's a little bit of nervousness, or not a bad nervousness, but a good one, of kind of those butterflies that are there from guys that are playing their very first college football game, maybe guys that are playing their very last first college football game as seniors, that there's that excitement that's building up. And so I think that that's definitely something that can be felt around our locker room, and hopefully around campus as well too.
All right, and then finally, what does your team need to do this year to be successful?
Yeah, so when we talk about going into each game with a plan of how we can win football games, the very first thing we talk about is we got to step in and believe that we're going to be in and can win every single football game, and that's before the game starts. Throughout the game, you could be up by 21 early or down by 21 early, and we still got to have that belief that we're going to continue to play that game for 60 minutes, and at the end, that's when we get to see kind of the results of it. But in the midst of it, we just got to keep playing and keep competing. And the things that we talk about kind of as a team of how we are going to win games is obviously you can't beat yourself to start with. The penalties, missed assignments, the bad effort plays. We've got to eliminate those things and just not give the game away in a lot of ways. We talk a lot about winning the turnover battle. I mean, that's one of the biggest key stats of whether you win a football game or not, is do we win that turnover battle? Can we get the ball back on defense? On offense, can we protect the football, have great ball security, not turn it over and keep it in our hands? We do that, we put ourselves in a position to be able to have a better chance of winning a football game. We want to as a team to be able to control the football game as well too. And so offensively, it's being able to have more positive run plays and completions than the other team does, to be able to keep the ball in our hands, continue to move the ball down the field to win those big conversion downs, third down and fourth down, having a great plan for those situations, to be able to keep us on the field, and defensively to be able to have a great plan to get the ball back and get the ball back in our offense's hands, and then win the field position battle on special teams. Special teams is something we're investing a lot of time and effort and energy into. That's an important phase that we want to win games because of that, and not just have it be something that we hope a mistake doesn't happen. So we're putting a lot of effort into that to help control the football game. And there's always big moments in a football game, 5 to 6 plays every game. You don't know when they're going to happen, but that's going to decide the game. And so we've got to try to manufacture some of those, but also just a sign of a team that's great, that has that competitiveness, is that they're going to go in and make those plays, and you don't do that by doing something more than what your job is, what your assignment is, but it's being in the right place at the right time and making the play when that ball comes to you. And so, we talk about trying to get explosive plays on offense, limit those on defense, to be able to, when we're in those critical moments, maybe that's in the red zone, to be able to put the ball in the end zone, or defensively to be able to make that stop when the offense, or when the other offense is in the red zone, focusing on some more of those situations. And we do all those things, we're going to be in a position when it comes to the fourth quarter that we're going to be in the game. Maybe we're up by 7, down by 7, maybe it's a tie game, but we do all those things right, we're in a position to be able to win, and then we've got to be able to put our players in a good situation to make a play, to be able to do what we ask them to do. And so I think if we play the game of football the way that it should be played, the right way, by doing all those things. You know, again, we've got nuances to our scheme on offense, defense, and in our kicking game that's going to help, you know, kind of bring out the strengths of all of our players. But if we play football that way, I know we're going to be really successful.
All right, well, I think I've covered the questions I wanted to. Ravens fans, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow along with any more previews, any more content we may be putting out on YouTube. You can also check out our Spotlight Ravens series interview with Coach Coddington. That will be debuting on YouTube and our social media next week. Of course, follow along with your Ravens. They open here Saturday at 6 p.m. at Mack Stadium. Coach Coddington, thank you for joining us, and good luck this year.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.